Why are y'all voting for Kamala Harris?
I don't want to lose my rights. Like, I'm a trans man and I'm gay and I have been pregnant and I've had an abortion before and I don't want to lose that.
Is she brat?
She's so brat. Oh my God.
She's so brat.
I firmly believe that she is elected the first female president. We ain't gonna have another one ever.
We have to stay woke.
It is going to be such a disaster. Ain't nobody gonna vote for a woman ever again.
Like, everybody needs to be woke.
She has more pronouns than policies on her website. Catch it. What? This is why I've always been attracted to Trump. Not like that.
Just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
Hey, bro.
Hey, what's up? Have you heard the good news?
Are you pregnant?
That's not possible.
Blossom finally got a good wig?
That's even less possible. Even better. I'm going on tour. I am so excited to be doing a live version of my podcast at the Blaire White Project all over America and Toronto, Canada. Each show will have a signing, a meet and greet, a special hangout for VIP fans, and a portion where you can grab the mic and talk to me, ask me questions, drag me. Don't do that. I would say my podcast is pretty uncensored, but imagine how uncensored we can get together in person. I'm a little scared. We're stopping in Austin, Phoenix, Washington, D.C., Brooklyn, Atlanta, Toronto, Canada, Minneapolis, Chicago, Orlando, Dallas, Houston, and Nashville. Get your tickets now at x1entertainment.com/Blaire White, link in the description. You guys know I have not done any in-person events in years, literally. So I don't know when the next time this is gonna happen. This is something very special for the Blaire White Army. So if you're a member of the Blaire White Army, I'm gonna need you to make sure you don't miss the Blaire White Takes America tour. See you soon.
Why do you support Kamala Harris? Is she brat?
She's so brat. Oh my God.
She's so brat. Makes her so brat.
Just like has that I don't give a energy, and that's so brat. Like, and Charlie XCX branded her as brat.
Yep.
So we have to listen to Mother.
Thoughts on the TikTok ban?
I'm uneducated about it, but I think it's ridiculous.
It's a wrap, right? It's a wrap. It's over. It's over. You know, the one thing Kamala Harris ate on was saying that this age range just a little bit stupid. You know I have a lot of younger people that follow me, and so I'm just really glad not all y'all are like this, but this is called the end of a civilization, babe. This is that collapse they've been talking about. This is that collapse we've seen in history from other countries, other, powers throughout history. Yeah, this is the end. Brat. I'm going to need y'all to stop getting your political opinions from rich and famous people while also simultaneously saying the Republican Party only cares about rich and famous people. This is y'all. Libs will go on and on about how Republicans only care about wealthy people, the rich. Oh my God. And also, did you hear Oprah is voting for Kamala? Me too. Did you hear Beyonce is voting for Kamala? Oh my God. Charlie XCX said brat. Not to mention, if you're going to get your opinions from any celebrity, I'm going to at least expect them to be an American. I am once again begging Brit Bongs with bad opinions to stay out of America's business. And this is why y'all are getting arrested for memes, put in prison. We've seen what y'all have voted yourselves into over the years.
Why are y'all voting for Kamala Harris?
I don't want to lose my rights. Like, I'm a trans man and I'm gay and I have been pregnant and I've had an abortion before and I don't want to lose that. I'm afraid of not being able to be myself anymore because from what I've heard, Trump's America doesn't want me to look like this. So
Trump's America doesn't want me to look like this. She said it like she knew she was just so the baddest bitch, and you're not. Like, what are you worried about? Trump's America doesn't want me to look like this. Yeah, he's really going to be putting up policy about that horrible haircut. I mean, that would actually benefit everyone. Please stop talking. Because when you speak, no value comes out. Nothing of any worth leaves those little lips. It's sad. And when I talk about victims, it's really the common theme, how we've all been colonized and sterilized, right? There you go, right? Because this is a bitch who's been colonized and sterilized and came out somewhat on top because I'm living a relatively productive life. This is up on camera talking about I'm a gay trans man and I've had abortions. Her friend don't even look like she believes what her friend is like. Damn, I didn't know you were this dumb. I'm just in it to wear cool makeup and whatever. You're really about this life, aren't you? I would say you need pills, but that's probably the problem. That's probably the root of this problem. Now Kamala Harris wants to build a wall. Oh my God, this episode is a joke. This episode's a joke. And it's not a joke because of me. It's a joke because of the people we're covering here. And it's very sad we have to group in the current one of the two presidential candidates and potential first female president with being on the same intellectual level as the last two people we talked about. But we do. Interesting that we're told that a wall is this racist, it's xenophobic, it's the symbol of hate. And all of a sudden, once Miss Camel Toe comes around and realizes that this is in fact a center-right country, and if you have any chance of winning at this point, you're going to have to maybe move to the right a little bit while still being a commie. Now she wants to build a wall. But what's so funny about that is this post. Sorry, Elon. X post. Trump's border wall is just a stupid use of money. I will block any funding for it. So maybe Miss Camel Toe should actually be called Miss Chameleon, because this bitch is shapeshifting like the reptilian whore you know she is. Reptilian. Just like Nancy Pelosi. Don't believe me? Believe her.
We're different from the president. We're very discreet, reptilian, cold-blooded.
And it's not just that tweet. It's a whole collage of tweets that someone put up. Trump's border wall would be an absolute waste of taxpayer money. I won't support it. I mean, you have to zoom in to even read these because this collage is so huge. It's like, oh my God.
Let's be perfectly clear. The president's medieval vanity project is not going to stop them. Folks have plenty enough problems that they need their president to focus on. You know what? Instead of a wall. That wall ain't gonna stop them. No.
This is who y'all want to be. I firmly believe if Kamala Harris, I will put a slight bit of respect on her name. I'll stop calling her Camel Toe. I'll give a few Kamala Harrises to her, right? Miss Kamala Harris, I firmly believe that she is elected the first female president. We ain't gonna have another one ever.
We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
It is going to be such a disaster. Ain't nobody gonna vote for a woman ever again. And as someone who, you know, I'm most definitely not opposed to the idea of a female president. Like, I don't know. I remember watching Miss Tulsi Gabbard during the Democratic primaries back in 2019, 2020. I remember thinking, would my Republican ass vote for this Democrat?
There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Meanwhile, Kamala, you know, it's just crazy because we went from, wow, she really has no policies, for which she still has no policies on her website. She has more pronouns than policies on her website. Catch it? What? I don't know what that language is or why all the people who speak it are so goddamn ugly and overweight, but that's beside the point. We went from her not having any policies to just stealing Trump's. She stole no tax on tips.
We are going to not charge taxes on tips, people making tips.
Eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
Meanwhile, the media, when Trump announced that, was like, this is never gonna work, this is stupid. And then Miss Kamala steals it, and suddenly it's the best thing ever. So I remember literally telling someone, like sarcastically, I was like, next thing you know, she's going to build a wall. And now she's building the wall. And I won't hold my breath for you fake principleless Democratic rats to call her racist for it. I know not one of y'all are going to call her racist for it. Just Trump, right? Meanwhile, all the other countries that have their walls, have things on the border that prevent people from coming in what world are we supposed to just let people like run through us? Why does the United States have to be this ran through ass country like so many other countries we see having this problem? And the false and very evil framing of it, you know, of the position to not want your country overran by migrants, illegal migrants. The expectation that that is like supposed to be seen as evil or racist, when in reality, we're talking about the fact that we've also inherently removed the necessity for people to actually come and assimilate to our culture, assimilate to our country, and not bring values that are antithetical to our country. Because yes, dear, not all cultures are equal. We're talking about people coming in from all over the world. I know y'all aren't good at maps, but there are many countries below Mexico that it's just a bit different there. And for us to just be the dumping ground, what y'all don't understand is so many of these countries are emptying out their mental facilities, are emptying out their prisons, and dumping these people on the United States, saying go to the US, and then they are threatened with life in prison or execution if they return to their home country. So what you have to understand is it's soft warfare, babe. And soft almost seems like minimizing it. It's something that countries are doing to us. We're not talking about hardworking, lovely people that are escaping some of the policies and realities of life in Mexico or any other country. We're talking about the fact that many of these countries feel so comfortable based on how open our border is that they're dumping the people that they don't want onto us. And the reason they don't want them is often because they are crazy and they are prisoners and they are people from mental wards. Like, this is just a fact. So framing that you want a secure border as somehow being racist or xenophobic, it's a bit ill. Your mind's not quite right. And unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, I don't believe she'll really build the wall, but I guess there is something nice about the fact that the world has kind of woken up to, like, you're probably not going to win an election without talking about securing the border on either side. But it is quite fake of her to flip-flop like that. Not that she needs to hold on to bad ideas forever, because if she's seen the light, look into the light, baby. But you know she hasn't, because her first interview in over a month of being a candidate, this is what she said.
My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed.
Her values have not changed. When 2 seconds ago, a wall was racist, and now she's like, I'm going to build that wall. Listen. Kamala Harris is an empty void of a person, which is really just what a politician is, right? And that's why people like Trump. I'm sorry. This is why I've always been attracted to Trump. Not like that, right? Not like that. But attracted to his presence in politics is the fact that he is not, in fact, a politician. And so when he says things, you can believe he really believes them. You can, because no matter what, all of his promises from all his campaigns, he's at least tried to get him through. They blocked a lot of that wall building and a lot of that wall funding. And, you know, not everything he promised ever came to fruition, but he attempted most, if not all, those promises. And that is more than I can say for what I believe Miss Camel-Toe will do in office. Raise your hand, class, if you believe she's actually going to attempt to build any type of border, while also putting tweets out that there is no such thing as an illegal immigrant. That should be disqualifying. Miss Law and Order. So you want to lock black men up for marijuana and laugh about it, but you don't want to do anything about people here illegally? Okay, that you are the devil. And when I say that, I don't mean it literally. She's actually just a spawn of the devil, right? A tool of the devil. A pawn in Satan's game. as many others are, like Mr. Walls.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Who actually was not informed of this Wall position, apparently, because if he was, he wouldn't have said this.
And I think seeing a plan that's out there, talking about it with folks, knowing that he's not going to do anything. He talks about this wall. I always say, let me know how high it is. If it's 25 feet, then I'll invest in the 30-foot ladder factory. That's not how you stop this.
So apparently that memo wasn't, put out to Mr. Walls, Mr. Tampon Tim, that you kind of got to be on the same page as Miss VP if you're going to be her future VP. That man is scary. It's just the physiognomy for me, which if you're not pilled on physiognomy, you really have to be, because it comes in a lot of handy. It comes in a lot of handy. You can just see certain things coming from a mile away. And he definitely looks like the kind of person who thinks tampons belong in boys. You can kind of tell by his face. Y'all know he's not even that old. It's evil wears on your soul. That is one of the main lessons that we've learned together over the years, that evil, that demon, that satanic agenda, it shows up on the exterior. It's not just on the inside. It comes out, it jumps out. And why I am not voting for Miss Kamala Harris, it's because no one even knows who the fuck she is. No one even knows who she is. Did you know that when I did my Kamala and Trump video, like when I went on the street, asked people that, there was a couple people who said they don't really know who Kamala is, which is sad. Because again, that IQ has left the chat. I mean, that's the current VP, so you should know. But regardless, no one knows what position she has, what policy she supports, because it's all fake. It's all fake. And regardless of how you feel about Trump, most people know who he is if you haven't been, neurologically rearranged by the media's depiction of him. But it's just, to me, a very simple decision. Someone who's going to let the country be overrun with illegal immigrants, while our people, by the way, that issue goes so much deeper. Like, our people are on the streets dying. It's like Kourtney Kardashian said, people are dying. And it's just the reality. Like, what was that story yesterday? How the Biden-Harris administration accidentally wired some obscene amount of money to the Taliban. Meanwhile, we got veterans, we got our mentally ill, we got our addicted, which shout out to even the people that end up on the streets through addiction, because that is incredibly sad. But the point is, our people are on the streets and dying, and you have entire hotels being constructed in major cities, sanctuary cities, for illegal immigrants to be living it up. Don't get me started on how the fact that they don't even want Americans voting. They want illegal immigrants voting because they statistically vote Democrat. So that's, in fact, see, everything is a projection from that side, right? Republicans are trying to suppress the vote. Ask them next time which vote they're trying to suppress, because they'll tell you black people, because they will use, they use black people to shut down any conversation. They will frame people as hating black people in an effort to shut down any conversation. But in fact, Republicans are trying to suppress the vote. The illegal vote. I could go on for days about how it was illegal for me to enter restaurants without a COVID vaccine card. But they have y'all voting in American elections, and it's apparently racist to ask for an ID. None of it makes sense.
Like, when you start thinking about it like that, that sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's totally political, all these moves.
100%.
Yeah.
They're literally importing Democratic voters.
Yeah.
They think by allowing the borders to be porous and by giving people aid and giving people housing, that you're essentially guaranteeing that if you can rig it so that those people are allowed to vote, those people are going to vote Democratic. And if you could say that, voter ID is racist, what? Voter ID is racist.
That's crazy that they think that.
They
don't think that. They don't think that. They know that that's not true.
All of it's sick. All of it's twisted. And all of it is, like I said, of the devil. Now, I wish I could even say, I don't want to vote for Miss Cameltoe because this will happen. But it's actually more so because there's a big fat question mark. She has no policies, no principles. Even worse than no policies, no principles. Because if you can flip from 100 tweets about how a wall is racist to I'm building a wall, I mean, that's dementia. I would be embarrassed to even do that. If I was one of you, dumb hoes who got swept up in the media psyop of believing a wall is racist, despite the fact that there is in fact countries all over the world with walls and they work. If I was one of the people who really got psyoped into that and was part of the, oh, that's racist group, and I was talking about, oh, that's racist, I would almost just hold steadfast to that opinion and not flip-flop that hard, because that's embarrassing. You get hit with the, but he's going to take away your rights. Listen, again, the iron law of woke projection is just so real, because the only people, think of all the rights you have lost over the years. Think of all the times in recent years that you have felt rightless. It was always under Democratic administrations. I mean, I remember when I didn't have the right to go somewhere without a mask on, or the right to enter somewhere without a shot, or the right to not follow those arrows on the ground. Walk left, walk left. Here's where the uneducated say, but wasn't Trump president? So we're going to have to understand the system of government and how the president is not in fact a dictator, right? Much as y'all say that he was, but he was fighting those Democratic governors tooth and nail to not do that. And if you saw in red states, it was very much not like that. In fact, a lot of people who lived in red states during that time don't even really relate to that story, where it's like, oh, no, yeah, we couldn't go to the beach or grocery stores or restaurants, or people couldn't work. And those were all liberal policies. It's just insane. I mean, and what are these rights he's trying to take away? Should we address them one by one? Trump wants to take away gay marriage. He had a gay wedding at his house a few months ago. Trump wants to take away trans rights. He's against kids getting sex changes, which is the only normal position to have on that issue. Trump's going to take away abortion. He's leaving it up to the states, which is, in fact, a very constitutionally valid opinion to have. I mean, y'all can want that sweeping ban on abortion, but as someone who has been over the years trying to figure out exactly how I feel about abortion, I think it's a good thing that it's state by state. There's plenty of issues that are state by state. Let that be one of them. And if you want to live somewhere where that's legal, vote for that. Move somewhere where that's legal. It just is what it is. What are the rights he's trying to take? They'll definitely say he's trying to take away rights for black people. They'll never elaborate, though. That one just doesn't make sense. And don't get me started on Trump is going to deport all the Latinos and immigrants. So having an issue with illegal immigrants means he's deporting all immigrants. I saw someone saying JD Vance's wife is going to, this was the tweet. Is someone going to tell Trump and JD Vance that their wives are going to get deported if Trump wins? Babe, at some point, we got to find a cure for that brain rot, because if you think that being against illegal immigration means that their wives who are illegal immigrants are going to get deported, sick. And then they want to say Trump said something about black jobs. Oh, how demeaning he would say black jobs.
Who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs?
He was defending black people in that statement and saying that illegal immigrants are taking black jobs held by black people, by black Americans, because we should be America first. And everyone said it was racist.
They're losing their jobs because Biden and Harris are allowing millions of people to come into our country, and they're taking black people's jobs.
It's sick and twisted. The ease at which they lie to you and the ease in which some of y'all gobble it up. Obviously not the members of the Blaire White Army, because that thinking is on a higher plane for us, but it's scary. That fluoride, right? That fluoride lowering that IQ is just so real. Invest in fluoride-free toothpaste. Blaire White said so. Don't drink tap water. Blaire White said so. If you have any confidence in any advice I would ever give you, just work on that. Open that pineal gland up, babe. Start to see the forest through the trees. Start to see what this life really is. Start to see the lies, because it's a lot of them. It is at this point that I have to inform you that I have indeed tapped out. This has been quite a ride. I mean, I'm not sure what it does to my brain to have just rapid fire these people coming in and out of my consciousness and trying to entertain y'all while doing it. I don't really know what it's doing to me personally, but can't be more harmful than that fluoride, right? Thank you for watching. Subscribe to this channel as well as my main channel. Follow me on X and Instagram. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, all the places that it exists. And I will see you on tour and in the next video.